Hi, it's Libby. It's the 1st of October 2019, and we're into a new month. I've just finished my 30-day challenge for going zero free for 30 days. I must say, I've really enjoyed it, and for me, it's not been difficult. 3 years ago, I decided to change my whole diet and change my whole way of shopping. So it's kind of been something that I've been doing, but I fall off the wayside like everybody. I nip into a shop, I'm hungry, I buy a snack, and it's usually wrapped in plastic. So I thought, no, let's do this in a proper way, and wanted to record my progress, and I wanted to open a new YouTube channel. So it was the ideal time to do it. So it got two things off the ground. It got me a new YouTube channel, and also to get into the community of Zero Free. I've learnt a lot on these 30 days. It's been very, very life changing. My diet has completely changed. I don't consume any processed food anyway, hardly ever, but it's made me even more conscious of that. So I spent about 10-15 minutes just now going through some of my old videos when I very first started, and I've made some notes of what I wanted to discuss with you, because I kind of thought, well, what have I learned on this journey? So, it's been a whole 30 days, which to me isn't long enough to change a habit. Like I said on previous videos, it takes about 40 days, actually 44 days, to change a good habit. So for the habit to become a habit that you do you're just very conscious of you doing it. So, when you're a little child, your mum or your dad shows you how to clean your teeth, that becomes a good habit. You don't stop doing that. You just do it. It's part of your lifestyle. So this has now been a lifestyle change for me, and I don't intend to change that back to what it was before. It's always been pretty good anyway. So as I say, for quite a long time I've been on this path. So for me it was quite easy, but I know some of you out there would find it quite difficult, quite challenging. So the first thing I've learned to do is to be organised. That's number one, to be very organised. So organising my cupboards, buying things that I need, looking to the future, thinking, right, I go through all my cupboards, have I got rice, have I got flour, have I got sugar. I don't eat a lot of sugar anyway, but all the staples that I need to make my food. I cook for myself an awful lot. It's very rarely that I will have a takeaway. I don't buy processed foods because I don't actually enjoy it. So that was easy. So I just literally went through my cupboards on the 1st of September, and I looked at what I'd got, and I then looked at various companies to order everything in bulk. So as you know, I keep banging on about Real Foods. I know it comes from quite a way. I've looked in some local products, but they don't actually have the compost bags. So that was always a unique selling point for Real Foods. And I've been using them for about 3 or 4 years now. And their packaging is excellent. They're compost bags. Everything comes in cardboard boxes. And inside they use egg cartons and things to pack everything in. There's no cling film or bubble wrap. Years ago, when I very first started to buy from them, they would wrap things in bubble wrap, and I used to get really angry because I was like, I'm trying to cut down on my plastic consumption, and then they're wrapping it in plastic. And the whole last year, they've been using a cardboardy alternative to bubble wrap, and that has really worked. And it's nothing gets broken. I've never had any problem, nothing ever spillaged. It's been really, really good. So that was the first thing, to get organised and to find the shops that you need to buy from. The second thing is planning long term. So, for example, you've got to look at what you're going to eat for maybe a week or so, and then buying what you need and then using that product. So I can't then go out and just buy something in that recipe. So for example, if it has to have, I always talk about fresh coriander because I use it a lot. If it has fresh coriander in it, I can't nip to the shop because I know it'll be wrapped in plastic. So I have to get organised. So once a month, I will go on a shopping trip, maybe to the market, and I will stock up on things like herbs and spices, ginger, turmeric, and I will freeze it. So it's there accessible for me. If I run out, I'll use something else. So I'll use some parsley. I've got quite a few herbs growing in my garden, so I use that. Buying in bulk is one thing that I've done. Planning long term, thinking ahead. So also when the fourth sort of thing I've found is to be very, very conscious during the day, to be really switched on to the fact every day you wake up, I'm not buying plastic today. I'm not buying anything wrapped in plastic, food-wise. Okay, so that's been really good. So I do a lot of meditation. So at the end, I do like a little bit of a gratitude. You know, I'm grateful for what I've got in my cupboards. And today I refuse to buy anything in plastic. And that's the word, refuse. Yeah. Don't just go, oh, well, I'll have that. And then tomorrow I won't buy it again. But today I'll buy it. So refuse is a big thing in the zero waste community, to refuse something. And also goes into like, if you, for example, go into a supermarket and they are giving you small samples, you know, little bottles of things, refuse them. I go to exhibitions and at the end you get like a little goodie bag, and in that goodie bag you get little tiny samples of things, and they're all wrapped in plastic and the packaging is huge. So, you know, I can't be doing with it. I just think, well, I don't really want that anyway, so I refuse it. Okay, so refuse and reuse. So reusing is another word that I'd like you to think about. Reusing the stuff you have. So things like water, you know, I use this all the time. It's just an old vinegar bottle. In here it's got liquid chlorophyll. This is a cleansing water, so I use it a lot. I'm just going to go and get something else which I've left on the other side of my cupboard here. So I'm going away soon to do a yoga retreat. So I will be flying. So I've reduced my carbon footprint. I've already signed up for the carbon calculator, and it's worked out how much it will cost to put back for trees. So I've actually bought a whole load of trees to be planted in the UK. So you can do it. It costs about $20. It's not very much, but it just helps me to feel a bit more conscious and that I'm helping the planet. So I will take myself a toilet bag. Okay, this is probably not the one I'm going to take, but I've just brought this down out of my travel bag. And so what I do over the years, I've collected loads and loads of plastic bottles, and I don't throw them away, and I reuse them. So, you know, small little sample bottles. Now, I don't know about you, but when you go on holiday, part of going on holiday is the planning of the journey. It's not often the experience of actually going there. It's getting ready, buying new clothes, buying new travel size packs. So, you know, new shampoo, new deodorant, and so on. For years and years, I've just reused it. So I buy these bottles. I bought these years ago, and I'll just reuse them. So I've got loads of these. So for like my shampoo, I've got two different colours. So one's a pink one, that will be my shampoo, and the yellowy one will be the conditioner, if I choose to do that. Okay, these will last me maybe a week. They're 75ml, so that'll go through the airport if you've got hand luggage, you know, and just reuse things, you know, like your cleansers. Just get a nice little bottle. This is a little bottle from a gift pack, so I just use that maybe to put my oils in for my face. You know, just little things that you can just reuse, little bottles. So I just keep my sample bottles, and if people buy me gift sets, I'm not really very happy about that. So I put that as a no to my friends. So please don't buy me any gift packs, because I've got enough bottles here now to last me whenever. You know, these things don't really go out of, you know, they break, maybe they crack, but they're lifetime. I have some of these for years. So just give them a really good wash and reuse them. So, you know, okay, I know you like the buzz of going out and buying these lovely things or, you know, like little tiny products and stuff. You don't need to do that. And also when you're travelling, you don't need to take everything in the kitchen sink, you know. I used to be terrible. I used to use everything on holiday. And now I use I take some coconut oil and I can use that as a cleanser. I can use this as a moisturiser. And I can also use it as a bit of an after sun. So to reuse some of the things that you take with you. So you don't have to take massive amount of things on holiday. What else have I learnt? I've talked about eco-bricking. I do save my wrappers when I do buy things in plastic, which was pre 30 days ago. And I've noticed that has become less and less. I have put some of the plastic in those in a small bag. The bag was about this size, yeah, and that was all the products that I had previous to the 30-day challenge. So over the last 30 days, I haven't actually bought anything wrapped in plastic or anything coming in plastic, but in my cupboards, I've actually got things that I've bought before the 30 days that have actually probably come in plastic. So some of that is just a small little bag like this, whereas before, over a month, it would probably be a carrier bag full. And I'm conscious, I don't buy a lot of stuff in plastic, but I was still buying salad, I was still buying my carrots in bags, and I was buying the cucumber with the jackets around it and all of that sort of stuff. So we're still consuming quite a lot of plastic. That has reduced completely now. So for the last, 2 weeks, I haven't bought anything, I haven't used anything out of my cupboards rather, that's been wrapped in plastic. So what else have I learned on this? I've learned to do more cooking for myself, the veggie boxes I've ordered and having the milk delivered has been a big bonus. What else have I learned? I've got lots of things I've wrote down. I've talked about composting. And one of the great things is I've actually taught my son how to compost, and hopefully that will be something that he can do. He was kind of doing a little bit, but I don't think he really knew what he was doing. So I showed him the right way to compost. So that's been encouraging. I felt like I'd shared something, which was really nice. I've shown you how to make almond milk and almond butter. So again, you don't have to buy it from the shops. Buying locally, that's something that I found quite good. So buying locally from the shops. So I'm not using the big supermarkets, because to be perfectly honest, I've had about 3 trips over the month. It's been a complete disaster. I've gone 6 or 7 miles probably to a big supermarket thinking I could get a lot more products that weren't wrapped in plastic. No, everything was wrapped in plastic. So I was quite disappointed in the supermarket's uptake on this problem that we have, that we need to be very more conscious of the amount of plastic that we're consuming. And it's not so much how much plastic we're consuming, it's how much we recycle, because we want to stop recycling. I haven't put my green bin out now for probably 2 months. In my green bin, all that's in there is cardboard. And I keep it in there because it keeps it dry, and I use that cardboard for my compost bin because it helps to break down, it gives it the carbon. So I will not put that into the recycling. I've got very little in there. There might be the odd thing, but before I put it out, I will actually go through it again and see if I can actually reuse some of that stuff. I pulled a few plastic bottles out that were in there from 2 months ago, and a couple of them I took down to the zero waste and filled them up with shampoos and stuff. So that was really useful. Going to the zero free shop, the bulk buying shops, that's something that I would really consider looking at more often. Keeping your containers, taking them with you, again, getting organised. It's just always about organise here, and to also to be really conscious of what you're buying. So what has been disastrous? I've had a couple of disasters. I ordered some toothpaste from a really nice company. I won't name the product because I have spoke to the company, and they were really, really quite considerate about what was happening. So I was buying a certain brand of toothpaste that comes in a jar from Amazon, and it normally comes wrapped in a brown, sort of like bubble wrappy stuff, but eco brown, so I can recycle that. The last time it came in a huge pack of bubble wrap. I was really, really cross because I'd bought that with intention of not having the plastic tubes, the toothpaste tubes that can't be recycled. And And so, but this came in a huge big piece of bubble wrap. So it was, but it wasn't just a small piece, it was a massive piece which would, easily protect it. But then again, also this brown paper that was around it before easily would have protected it. It was already in a brown carton that to me was perfectly fine. Yeah, it was a big cardboard box. So I did contact the company that sells through Amazon and actually tell them. And they said they keep telling Amazon about this situation and they're still continually sending it out in bubble wrap. And then I kind of thought about this, okay? So Amazon, do you know what the biggest seller of Amazon, a lot of the Amazon products is? Bubble wrap, okay? So they will sell an awful lot of bubble wrap to the public and to various companies. So they are, well, they probably want to promote it. They probably want to use it because they're selling a lot of it. It's one of their biggest things every month that they sell. They make a huge amount of money on bubble wrap. So I'm like now, I will look on Amazon and I will find the product and then I will contact the seller who's selling that product directly and ask them what their packaging will be, how it will be sent out to me, and if it's going to be sent in bubble wrap, I'll prefer to buy it from them if they can confidently tell me that it's going to come in brown paper or a eco product that's going to be going to be helpful for me to either reuse, wrap something up as a present in like brown paper, or something that's biodegradable. Some of the packaging you can get, and somebody contacted me about this, about the chips that come inside products, like the small little, I don't know what they're called, but they sort of protect things, yeah? It used to be like plastic. Now it's actually cornstarch. So if you get some of that, if you just keep moulding it down, it will go into like a powder, and that's actually biodegradable. So you can put that in your compost, or you can reuse it to pack things. If you move in house, you could use it for that. Lots and lots of alternatives. We don't have to keep using the bubble wrap. So the bubble wrap went into the eco bricking. So that was my first disaster. My second disaster, I'm going to get it now, is my bucket that I put one side that actually has the plastic in that I've actually used through the month. And this is the amount of plastic that I've used, okay? So it's got a bit wet because it was near my water filter and it spilt out a little bit. So unfortunately it's a bit wet. But I've got 3 of these pineapple labels, okay? These are not recyclable. It actually says not currently recyclable. So I've got 3 of those because I bought the pineapple with no packaging, but these, okay? I also bought from Tesco's a big box of dates. I was doing a workshop and I needed to buy some extra dates. So again, it wasn't organised. I was waiting for my real food order and it hadn't come. So I got these from Tesco's. They came in a cardboard box and I thought, great, put them in my trolley, went to pay for them. Then I got them home and I realised they've actually got like a plastic seal. So that's another piece of plastic that I consumed, well not consumed, but I bought without not knowing. And then the other thing was a little tag with a bit of plastic on, and I think this is probably cardboard, but the plastic thing there is of a beetroot from Waitrose, yeah, some organic beetroot. And then the other thing is, on my cheese, they did have like a sticker at the bottom, so that was in there. Also, the little Kimballs, oh, there we go. You know what I mean by little Kimballs? The little bits that actually can keep, I'll find one somewhere, here we go. Is those little Kimballs, you can see them, that this actually goes into the pineapple on that and keeps it into the pineapple, okay? The other thing I've got in here, I'll find it. I've not put all of these, but some of them, can't find it, are the stickers. Oh, here we go. The stickers that come from fruit and veg. Okay, this is a one that came on some bananas, and I'm quite mindful when I buy, like bananas and apples and things if they've got stickers on. That is, again, it's plastic. So just be wary of that. So that's my consumption of plastic. I think I've done really well considering that, apart from the bubble wrap, and that wasn't really in food. I mean, I have bought a few other things that come in wrapped in plastic. I ordered some bike stuff, and I ordered a bag for my bike that came in a plastic bag. You can't really stop everything, but as much as I could have done, I haven't actually bought anything food-wise in plastic. So that all will go in my eco bricking. Just as a little word of advice, when you do your composting and you are doing it on a regular basis, when you do chop your like veg up, or you do something and you've got little stickers, get rid of them, because they do go in the compost and they are plastic. So you're constantly pulling out the little labels if you don't take it out at the source when you put it into the small caddy that you've maybe got on the side of your kitchen like I have. So what else? I managed to get some free foods. So I got some blackberries, and I've been picking things like I got some pears from the studio. I've been down to the fields and I picked loads of blackberries and some elderberries and some rose hips. I'd love to go out and pick some more rose hips. That was my intention, to make some rose hip syrup. But unfortunately, it's so wet. It's so disgustingly wet, really, that I don't think I would want to go down. It might be flooded anyway down there, so I might not be able to even get across the land, because a couple of weeks ago, and there had been hardly any rain, it was quite boggy. And so it's not a very good idea to go walking in the fields when it's sort of very, very wet. So all in all, just the message really is to refuse, reuse, and stop recycling. Because I know people say, but the recycling, it's the box is there, the green bag is there, the green box, or whatever you have in your authority, it will get recycled. Some of it will do, but some of the small things like bottle tops and small little items, they don't get recycled. They also get clogged up in the machine. I was watching some videos yesterday they were saying, like the small toothpaste tube things, like, people put them in by mistake and they can get caught up in the machinery and can cause problems at the plant. I also noticed today, I listened to the radio on the way back from my gym this morning working. One of the local authorities, it's not the area that I live in, but one of the other authorities, they've actually had to, they can't recycle a huge amount. It's tons of recycling, and they're actually going to stop taking people's bins if it actually has any of these products in. I don't know how they're going to administer that, because obviously the green bucket goes into the back of the truck and it just gets thrown in. So I don't know how they can control people putting things in, like, for example, dirty nappies, food waste, clothing, green stuff, like things out of the garden. I don't know how on earth you would put that in a recycle bin unless it's late at night or you're colourblind and you can't see the colour, because most bins are either black or green. They are where I live anyway. Sometimes they're blue, I know, in some areas. But, we must be wary of making sure that we wash out, if you're going to recycle, wash out your plastic containers. Don't throw them in with food inside, because that will contaminate the whole van or the whole truck of recycling. So that's sort of counterproductive. You think you're recycling and somebody up the road put some dirty nappies in there, and so that will spoil all of their products. So they're going to start saying, oh, we're not going to actually take the products, the recycling stuff, if it's got these things inside. So I remember one of my neighbours, there was somebody down my road, and the bin lorry was literally in the street having to pull out something. Somebody put some clothing in a green bin. There was also some green waste in there, some like tree trunks and things. So somebody put some cuttings, a small piece of wood, a small piece of wood, but it was very big. It had actually broken the machinery. So that whole recycling thing could have got spoiled because of all that stuff that somebody put in. Because then they're not thinking, they're not actually in that mindset of what am I putting in? Is it clean? Can it be recycled? And make life easy for the people at the recycling packaging, you know. Clean your bins, clean the thing out, make sure it's clean. And then we can all get together and hopefully build a better, cleaner world. So I'm hoping, this is quite a long video and I've probably gone on a little bit, but the 1st of October, it's the end of my challenge yesterday, so I just wanted to come on and go over a lot of things that I've learnt. It's been, as I say, life-changing for me, and I'll continue to grow the channel. Yeah, so I just want to say thank you so much for all of you who've subscribed to my channel, to like the videos, to comment. I've had a couple of people a little bit negative, but that's just the nature of putting yourself out there on YouTube. So yeah, I'm not bothered about that. You always get some trolls on these things anyway. But yeah, it's been very positive all in all, and I hope I'll continue to motivate you, inspire you to carry on doing what you're doing. And even if just a couple of you have changed a few habits, then it would be really, really nice if you tell me what you've actually done. And if you can give me any advice on anything that you've done that's helped to, you know, change things in the whole recycling situation. I better go because my battery is about to go. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully I might make a video tomorrow about a few other things. So I'm going to sign off now and say bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.